Hello everyone, I'm going to read Intimacy on page 73 from Lamone's text. It's the last poem of the fall section of the text, right before we get into winter. I cannot tell you exactly what placement of poems means. It means something to the artist, but it also will mean something to you as readers. So there's not one particular meaning we're searching for here, but we are transitioning, of course, between seasons, going from fall to winter. We're transitioning from one poem to another. So you might see meaning in the relationship between this poem and the poems that come before and after it, or in the placement of the last poem of the previous seasons, for instance. And those are just things you look for to help you with the essay. Here we go with the reading. I remember watching my mother with the horses, the cool, fluid way she'd guide those enormous bodies around the long field, the way she'd shoulder one aside if it got too close, if it got greedy with the alfalfa or apple. I was never like that. Never so confident around those four-legged giants who could kill with one kick or harm with one toss of their strong heads. To me, it didn't make sense to trust a thing that could destroy you so quickly. To reach out your hand and stroke the deep separateness of a beast, that long gap of silence between you, knowing it would eat the apples with as much pleasure from any flattened palm. Is that why she moved with them so easily? There's a truth in that smooth indifference, a clean honesty about our otherness that feels not like the moral, but the story. How you read these and how you interpret them is going to be intimately personal. When you're going through a collection like this to make connections with regard to what the author is trying to do, you want to look at some of the characters. Lamone herself as the author, as the voice, her mother, who she has shown her to be in the other poems, and of course just the simple themes and imagery of the poem. Clearly, let's just kind of look at the last four lines and ask ourselves what we can do with them. We can do anything here, but let's look at the last four lines. There is a truth in that smooth indifference, a clean honesty about our otherness that feels not like the moral, but the story. So what is that indifference? Is it her mother's ability to address the animal so readily, without fear? Is intimacy what Lamone fears as a person? Does she fear getting hurt, like we've always been hurt? Does her mother have that same fear? Has her mother faced that down? Has she won that battle? Has she learned how to reach across and touch some otherness? Is that something we've been shown in the collection? Other questions you might ask yourself, what do the apples represent? Typically, biblically, it's sexuality, forbidden knowledge. Here, is it something like that for Lamone? Is intimacy that? Is that what she's afraid of? I don't want to tell you what I think, okay? But look at the imagery of the horses, the cool, fluid way she'd guide those enormous bodies around the long field, and it's a very sexual image there. And she says that she was never like her mom. She was never so confident around the four-legged giants who could kill with one kick or harm with one toss of their strong head. It didn't make sense to trust a thing that could destroy you so quickly. So obviously for the voice, for Lamone here, there's a big hesitancy to extend herself toward the otherness of a beast, of something that's powerful and a little bit scary to her. So I'm just going to pause there and say, as you consider things to do with your essay, themes that you want to work with, ask yourselves if you see something similar in the other poems, if there's something in the other seasons that resonates with you, where this intimacy issue arises, and does it arise differently in other seasons? Ask yourself about the mom and what she shows her to be in other seasons. Look at Lamone's confidence. Does it grow from season to season? Does it wane in certain seasons? These are the kinds of things that you want to examine in your essay. And I think one of the big things to look at here too is just to ask yourself the way that Lamone approaches otherness, the world around her, the flora, the fauna, the sky, the animals. Is she reserved about it? Is she bold about it? Does she jump into the deep end? Does she reflect on it first? How do you see her approaching the world? Is it always intimate? Does she lack intimacy sometimes? How does she approach relationships? So these are the things that you'll ask yourself. And you don't have to answer all of them. You just have to reflect and see what you see, to be honest. And as always, when you're writing this essay, make sure that you choose textual passages, highlight particular words, particular lines, series of lines that you think help answer the question, and then incorporate them into your essay as you interpret. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and I'll talk to you soon.